I once knew a shy pebble. Yeah, she wished she was a little bolder. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xerath Prevails. Today, we're going to talk about the top 5v5 offense teams and defense teams in all the land, or the digital universe, because I don't know how much land the holotables actually takes up. But I also have a video coming out for the best defensive teams at the exact same time. You can find the link to that in the video description. Huge shout out to my patrons. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for your support. I couldn't do this without you guys. And if you want to support the channel for free, folks, all you gotta do is hit that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, comment. Let's mount the algorithm, shall we? I don't say nay. So one thing that I am working on, and you can look out for it coming up, it will be, I'll have a link to the new video soon, is an off-meta counters video on how to beat all the different Galactic Legends without using any Galactic Legends of your own. And so be on the lookout for that. I did do a video on that like in 2023 or something like it, or maybe 24. It's been a while since I updated it, so keep an eye out for that. But let's talk about offensive teams, shall we, guys? It's gonna be an interesting season, honestly. There are they got rid of like the truly awful / toxic ones that are like the pointy teeth Ray one with that you know, just sometimes you couldn't clear at all. They got rid of the Hermit Yoda one that made the Kenobi with Ezra teams just super obnoxious, and they didn't really add a ton of them that are really obnoxious. We still do have a few that we're gonna have to find a way through. There's an Inquisition one that's really strong. There is, I mean, it's still really strong. That was from a couple Datacrons previously. The new Supreme Leader Kylo team is actually pretty good on defense as well. We don't have much data on how to beat Supreme Leader Kylo with Pointy Teeth Ray either. It's one of the Galactic Legends we have the least information on. There's a lot of stuff that we kind of have to account for. There's still the Rolocron, and depending on who gets that, the team just gets really bonkers. Lots of things to consider. So for offense, like, what do we have to do? First off, Jedi Master Luke he doesn't have the Hodocron. This is a kind of a sad season for him because the Hodocron was so good for him, even though usually Kenobi just stole it, which was obnoxious of Kenobi. But Jedi Master Luke doesn't necessarily have like a specific thing that he's doing this season. Like, he's not going to be good on defense. There's a million things that kill him on defense, and so we'll keep him for offense. Sometimes maybe we'll break off some of the Jedi to help him, or to go do their own thing, because the Jedi actually sometimes are going to be better. The lesser Jedi will actually be better off just on their own, and Jedi Master Luke can do his own thing. Remember, there's only 11 teams on defense now, guys, so Jedi Master Luke doesn't have to have a role if you have a full roster and everything. It's just kind of a sad moment in time for them. You can get Krons with a bunch of protection on them, though, so it's not the very saddest moment. So Leia, there's the Rogue One team that right now that I think like the best version of Leia is typically going to be on offense, because one of the things we're going to have to deal with, that we're going to have to account for, is Hondo, like Galactic Legend Hondo on defense. We're going to see him quite a bit. We're also going to see Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano with Ezra, I think. We'll explain that in the defensive teams video, but we're going to see those two teams quite a bit on defense, plus a Rey team that is maybe not like the very best, but we're going to have to find find a way past that as well. And Leia is right in the thick of things, as she's going to be one of the counters to them. The thing that is kind of unknown right now, we have a Datacron that makes it so that Adrad and Jin can't die unless K2 is also dead. So you could probably throw R2 out and add K2SO there. I don't know which one is going to be better. That's why I have this note K2 here, maybe. That doesn't stand for Kyber 2 here, maybe, or like the Mountain K2, but or even like kindergarten to second grade. It's none of those. It's actually just maybe K2SO should be here instead. We're not sure, but if it's on offense, we can kind of be reactive. We have the cool Adrad Kron, or sometimes I would also like to try at some point Adrad on his own with his Kron against like the really good Inquisition Kron, or yeah, Datacron team, whatever. I'm not sure, but one way or another, Leia is going to be tasked with killing either Hondo or taking out Galactic Legend Ahsoka, or maybe killing Rey, though I hope we can find a different way to take Rey out. Now, one of the things that we'll discuss in the defensive teams video is what should the role of Supreme Leader Kylo be, because he really doesn't have a lot of teams that are going to counter him. There are a few, for sure, and, we have to look out for those. I think that in general, he's going to be really helpful in taking out, either he can win the mirror match, sometimes he can win, he can beat a lot of different teams on offense this season. And I mean, I think he can be decently efficient in doing so, which of course is always a concern with Supreme Leader Kylo. He can take out the Hondo team, which that's probably the biggest question mark, because Hondo, with all of his relics and with a really good Datacron, is a problem. It's maybe not as much of a problem in 5s as it was in 3s, but he is still going to be pretty strong, and Supreme Leader Kylo, it will definitely help us solve that issue. Also, Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano is going to be really rough, and Supreme Leader Kylo might also help with that, because we're not going to have the usual counters to Glat this season. I think we're going to have to mostly just use Galactic Legends if your opponent places the right Datacron, which we'll talk about that on defensive teams. But there's not many teams that are going to beat that Glat team. It would be nice to have a backup with Supreme Leader Kylo. So you can choose whether you want to put this on defense or not. Right now, I'm kind of leaning toward offense. I mean, let's just face it, guys. This is going to be, if at least toward the top of Kyber 1, it's going to be a very efficiency-heavy meta. Which you guys know I don't pretend to prefer, but we need to be able to, we need enough things to be able to clear our opponents too, and if they just stack their defenses a ton, we have to be prepared for that, and some of the teams are just not going to be off-meta-able this season. I mean, as it is with every season, really. Okay, so Kenobi's going to be on offense this season. The biggest question mark I have is, can Kenobi kill Supreme Leader Kylo with pointed teeth Rey? I think the answer is yes. You can bring Grandmaster Yoda here, or you could put 5s there as well, because Kylo is obsessed with trying to kill both of those. Like those are his priority targets, and so 5s works if you really need 5s for like a General Skywalker team or whatever. You don't have to use 5s. Grandmaster Yoda can work. Grandmaster Yoda also works on like a Queen Amidala team and stuff. He's actually more useful lately than he has been in the past several years. The past 900 years he's been fairly worthless, and we finally found a use for him once he's given up his delusions of grandeur, of being a grand master. Anyways, so we might end up yeah, this could be the team that takes down Supreme Leader Kylo. If that's the case, if Kenobi just murders Supreme Leader Kylo, then probably we end up with Supreme Leader Kylo on offense the whole season, because Kenobi, at least in the meta where everyone has all the Galactic Legends, Kenobi is a fairly cheap counter to to a Supreme Leader Kylo team with a good Datacron. So now the biggest question becomes after that, what are we gonna do with Merrick? So Merrick is of course an Inquisitor, and the Inquisition team is a really strong one with Ninth Sister and everything. The problem is there's been a bug for a while, and I remember last 5v5 telling you guys, hey, it's about to be fixed. They've said it's gonna be fixed for months now. They still haven't fixed it, and it makes it so that Phoenix just destroy the Inquisition, and they kind of always have. But if Merrick is with Inquisition, then you can't beat it with Phoenix. So in general, if you want to put Inquisition on defense, it's not a terrible play. The problem is then you have to put Merrick on the team. And if you do that, then your Balin team gets significantly worse. Like the Balin team really is one of those teams where you just, it's like a 3-man team and then 2 like kind of extra whatevers. Like it's a very obvious core of 3 with the Balin team. And like there's no wiggle room at all for that. And so if you take Merrick off, it's really just reducing your team to like 2/3 strength kind of. And so putting Merrick with Inquisition may seem like a great idea because you may think Balin's useless, but he's not. He's actually very strong. And so I tend to like, depending on what all people end up placing all over the place. Like I just make constant shifts in what I'm taking for offense and defense lately anyways, because I've been more invested in just trying to play at a high level of GAC. So even as I have always played, invested in that, I've been more into it lately, I guess is all I'm saying. So Balin actually counters a ton of stuff, and Inquisition also counters a ton of stuff, and I would rather just have them both available, frankly, because they don't really defend on defense that well. Anyways, there's a lot of things that beat them, and so, like for instance, that Jedi Master Luke team that is kind of listless, doesn't really have anything that it's doing, it is so excited when it sees a Balin team that it can delete, because it doesn't delete that much else, but it will beat a Balin team. And so if you put Balin on defense, it doesn't really do that much. Meanwhile, especially a Balin team without Merrick. Meanwhile, Balin takes out a lot of really important stuff. Like, first off, if they have a Kenobi team, even with Ezra, he beats that. Because the Hodocron is gone. He didn't do that well against the Hodocron, but he does well against Kenobi pretty well. Balin, one thing I really want to test with him at this season is how well does Balin do against Rey? Because he's got a lot of natural strengths that are specifically designed to help you be able to beat Rey better. And so I want to see how that works now that Rey isn't going to necessarily be overpowered. Like a Rey team without Ezra, to be clear. I think if Rey has Ezra, then we hunt Rey with a bigger gun. But the Inquisition team and Balin are both going to beat that Saw team that has the Rolocron, which is also a pretty big problem. Like both of these teams are going to counter quite a few important things. Balin also beats Kenobi teams that are on defense. I think I already said that. He beats that Saw team. He beats Rey. He beats a few like a Malgus team. He beats that pretty good. There's quite a few teams that he beats, and so pretty good use for him on offense this season. And same with Inquisition, though they should be nice on offense. Bad Batch have actually been very useful. That's another team that beats Balin easily when it's on defense, is a Bad Batch team. Though you have to be careful. This season we don't have high percent defense crons, and we don't have the thick cron that gives them a ton of extra health and protection. And so genuinely I've been considering, don't be too surprised if when you see me streaming this, if I have my record at Relic 9, just because he takes so many hits, and now he doesn't have a Datacron that really backs him up as much. But he, like last season, I was taking out Traya teams, I was taking out Balin teams, I was taking out all kinds of like decent teams, not like overpowered, but because Crosshair can hit underneath protection, then it's like you can just skip a lot of the defensive traits that a lot of teams have. And if you know how to play with Bad Batch, which I do have a Bad Batch video, a couple of them actually, on how to use them well, this team is actually going to be pretty good this season as well. I anticipate it's going to fill in a lot of the gaps that we've that sometimes we're kind of left with. It's like, okay, well, I can counter 10 of these teams, but the 11th is an enigma. I don't know how to beat that. The Bad Batch team will typically do that. So now begins the question: at what point do we start trying to get used to life without Starkiller on the Seer team? Now, so if your opponent is placing like a Rey team and you really have to kill it, or it's a Rey team with Ezra, then putting Starkiller on the Seer team is like it adds what, like 20% to your win rate, which it's not high to begin with, and it's still not that high after you add Starkiller, but it's significantly higher. It goes up from like 30% to a 50% or something like that on average in Kyber 1, but as it stands, like the Seer team, I choose wisely because this is one of those teams that you could put on defense, and there's not like a huge number of answers to it. If your opponent is already if you really are, you really want to put down a really strong defense, this is kind of one of those teams that will really back that up. Scav Rey is such a nice addition to this team, just because she hits like a space truck, and Maul, honestly, we don't have the ISC Kron anymore, and so Maul, he's not. I know that some people can make the Maul team work against a lot of different things. I think in general though, like Maul adds a huge win percentage to this team against pretty much everything, including those really tricky Rey comps, and so Seer is. But we're probably going to just end up with a team pretty similar to this. The EP Mara team with Starkiller is not really going to be that good anyways, unless you're facing a Rey team with the Rey Kron, or just like a lot of the Rey teams are just not that good this season. Like there's even like Rey, a pretty decent Rey Datacron and everything. I think that the biggest risk with this team against Rey is probably something along the lines of timing out, which is a threat, but it's not as crazy. And of course, if people put Ezra on the team, that it just changes everything. But otherwise, like, what else does Starkiller even kill efficiently? Unless, like, it either overkills something to the point where you can't actually, like, you kill it too fast and you drop a bunch of banners, or you just can't counter it because it's too strong for Starkiller. Now, obviously, that'll all change once we get the Stranger unlocked in a couple months, but that's the question: is how soon should we get used to life without Starkiller on the Seer team? Because within a couple months, Starkiller will be with his new friend, and Seer will be left out in the cold, very sadly. All right, so General Skywalker on offense, I guess. Maybe try to kill Rey if you are daring and you don't care about banners at all. You can also, if you want to put Captain Rex, Captain Rex has like 5 different places he wants to be this season. If you want to put Captain Rex on this team, you can actually take out Queen Amidala, and we're going to see her on defense a decent amount. So this team, it's all right, man. I mean, it's just aging. It just keeps dropping. It's to the point now that when I did my team rankings video and just like dropped them into obscurity on the rankings, like no one even got mad. Everyone's like, yeah, he just kind of sucks now. But better on offense than on defense, because defense he also dies pretty easily. Let's see, guns. They don't have their really awesome Datacron anymore. I think that we'll end up crashing to Earth a little bit this season with them, because the Gun Kron was really strong. It wasn't as overpowered as the initial Frog Kron that we had, but Captain Tarples being able to do all the nonsense that he pulled and everything. This team is still decent, and we're kind of assuming that this team will at least just beat the trench team that everyone's going to be putting on defense. So we'll see how that goes. Honestly, though, I wouldn't. I wouldn't count on this team beating that trench team. We'll see. The trench team might end up galloping to the galloping out to kill the metal box that these guys, the shield generator that these guys lug around with them all the time, and so I'm curious to see how that's gonna go, honestly. So we'll see. These guys are a good utility squad that kills a lot of stuff. I just don't know how useful they're going to end up being. I don't think they're going to be good on defense at all, though. So keep it for offense, I guess. Commander Luke, hopefully you've removed his mods and never use him, so we can just move right along. He does have a Datacron and stuff. We'll see. But the Rolocron, it could actually end up being a pretty good team as well. We'll see. The CLS continues to have more life than I give it credit for. I'm just bitter that they haven't updated the team for several years. Talk about a great candidate for an Omicron at some point to update the team. Great Mothers are going to be kind of useful this season, though. If your opponent places the right Datacron on Ahsoka, which gives Hera a ton of turn meter, then this team really just isn't going to work because Morgan is just going to be fractured immediately, and then you don't have a mass assist, and then you're just kind of screwed. And so the Great Mothers team, we do have the good Night Trooper Kron still. It still kills a lot of stuff. The Great Mothers counter about half of the Galactic Legends, or at least take a nice bite out of them. I think that the thing I anticipate using them most on, though, frankly, is the Queen Amidala squads that are going to be on defense inevitably now. And I mean, that's a pretty valid use for Great Mothers, in my opinion, just because Queen Amidala can be a huge problem, and if you're able to take out Queen Amidala with them, it's a burden off your chest, off of my chest at least. I don't know. I can't speak competently or knowledgeably about the majority of people's chests. So, anyways, the Night Sisters team. I mean, what's it gonna kill? I don't know, man. Jabba sometimes, if you need to panic and if you need something to kill Jabba, this team, if you cut zombie out, you have like a 30 to 40% chance of killing Jabba if you know what you're doing. And killing the ads, this is a good desperation heave. Otherwise, this team unfortunately just doesn't do that much in GAC anymore. Bane, what's Bane doing? Like, I'm curious to see. He'll probably end up trying to kill a fair number of Supreme Leader Kylo teams, though it didn't work in 3s as well as I was hoping for, and I would imagine that 5s is also, like, some people are just going to run a Supreme Leader Kylo team on defense that is just kind of impervious to what Bane is trying to do, and so we'll see how Bane might just end up killing like Queen Amidala. It's a weird one because it's like he's so strong. I wish we could put him on defense sometimes just to mess with people, but that's not really an option with Bane. So we'll see. He's just kind of a floater this season. I mean, he takes out a ton of stuff. So I mean, if we have to kill like a Sith Eternal Emperor squad with a bunch of Sith on it or something, that's not too bad. I don't think he works on Maz, though. I think she just does too much damage to Sith, so for what it's worth. Let's see, so a Traya team on offense, I mean, it's always pretty useful. I'm really curious to see if we as a community can find a way to counter the various Maz comps that we're going to see pretty easily. Then Maz will end up being on offense quite a bit, and she will kill all of the Sith that you put on defense. And so, I don't know, I think Maz is going to be on defense quite a bit this season, and so that's good. I say all that because I'm just thinking of like, what if we put Trey on defense? So I'm kind of getting things twisted mentally here. Trey is gonna kill. Like, people are gonna try putting frogs on defense a little bit. She takes that team out. She can kill Queen Amidala teams. She can take down, I mean, quite a few things. It's a good team. It's been a great team for a long time. It's just, I guess the thing that I'm trying to really spit out here is it's not gonna be good on defense, guys. As long as if people are going to take Maz on offense, like, this team is just going to get destroyed when it's on defense. And so keeping it for offense is probably the way, though there's not like a huge number of teams that people are going to be placing that it's going to counter. Like, there's going to be enough. You can usually find a use for this Treya team. So we'll have that to look forward to. Bo-Katan and company. So they lost the thick Krons with defensive percent, and the Lord Vader teams got a thick Kron, which means the Lord Vader teams are going to be way tougher to kill now. And so if the question you're going to have to answer for yourself is, do you want your Saw team to have the Rolocron to make it like a really strong, almost undefeatable team unless you have like one of a couple specific counters? Or do you want to save the Rolocron so that your Bo-Katan squad can kill Lord Vader? Because I think you're going to need the Rolocron to take out Lord Vader with Bo-Katan. We'll have to test it this season, but as of right now, it just looks like Bo-Katan's going to use the Rolocron to kill Lord Vader, or Bo-Katan is going to have to settle for a significantly worse team. So, to take out. We'll have to see. I mean, she still does take out like Jedi Master Kenobi pretty consistently. She takes out a lot of stuff. So I don't really worry about her being used so much as like if she can't kill a Galactic Legend, that'll be a step down for her. Sadly, Dark Trooper Moff Gideon. I mean, what are we gonna do with this team these days? Like, it doesn't have a good Kron right now. It's all right. Like, if your opponent has a Qui-Gon team on defense, then it'll destroy it. It'll be fun. Here's Bosk with Forlom. Yay! He's not gonna do that much. Let's see, Afra. So, one option we have to kill like Jabba teams and stuff will be Afra and company. We'll see how that works. I mean, Afra, that's like the one thing she takes out, and she doesn't do that great of a job anyways, so we'll see. I hope she gets some use. Here's a bunch of Imperial Troopers we probably won't use on offense, but they're terrible on defense. Let's see, Wampa. For a lot of people, Wampa will still be useful in Kyber. At least Kyber 1. A lot of times Wampa's just not going to be used at all. We'll just use use her Datacron on something else and move along. Unfortunately, the Fin Zori team. So this team is what I've been using to counter the Galactic Legend of Ahsoka Tano squads, but this also won't work if they're able to get Hera up to 100% turn meter to start with, which is pretty rough, actually. This team might still end up getting used depending on if we can find a team that is susceptible to like the turn meter shenanigans that these guys are able to foist on people. And then we do have a really good resistance cron and everything right now, so it's a pretty good team. We'll have to find a target for it, and a lot of people won't know to add the Datacron that I'm talking about to Glat, and so this team will be able to take out that team pretty nicely sometimes, yeah, albeit for terrible banners. But it is a decent team, and we'll just have to see how things play out with it as per usual. On defense, we could also put it on defense. There's a lot of teams that are just gonna spank this team pretty hard, so I'll probably just keep it for offense. Let's see, Inquisition. I mean, this team still beats the Inquisition team. Phoenix still beats the Inquisition team if they don't have Merrick on it, which some people are just not going to realize that they need Merrick on it. And eventually, they'll even, if CG ever fixes the bug, then this team will also be able to beat Merrick, but or Inquisition teams with Merrick. But otherwise, I mean, Phoenix, they'll counter a couple low level things. Of course, Captain Rex might want to be with like Saw. He might want to be with I mean, in some instances with Leia, actually. He might want to be with General Skywalker. Might want to be with Mon Mothma. Like all kinds of things that he might want to be doing. But this is an okay place for him. So choose wisely. The Tuscans and the Geos kill just random crap. They don't really. They're not good. I just made teams for them, apparently. And then the Karth team is... I mean, we don't even have the cool Karth Focus Datacron anymore. Or I guess it was a Zalbar one, but it was for this team. And if you have the Omicron on Zalbar, this team could be fun on offense sometimes if your opponent plays as a weak team. Like you can do some cool, interesting, fun stuff with them, but I wouldn't count on it. And that's it for offensive teams, guys. We have a lot of firepower this season, and I would guess that there will be several instances of people saying, oh my gosh, I just cleared my opponent and realized I still have Bane left over. I feel like that's gonna end up being how this season ends up. So let me know what your thoughts are, guys. Go watch the defensive teams video, of course, as well. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Zareth prevails. Take care, folks.